Are just a day away from the start.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun. As she puts her hand in mine, we wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. The afternoon, we lay awake in bed. The laugh so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop. Shout from the top, we're gonna be two hearts running wild.
Chubb so sadly suffering a season-ending torn Achilles in a 56-19 loss at Baltimore in Week 17. Can they regroup? As we welcome you to NFL Live on the final Friday of the regular season, Hannah Storm with Marcus Swagoo.
It's good to be with you. It's
so
good to be
to have you here in person.
Big Roz and Mina.
Mina Kimes and Dan Graziano with us as well. Only 3 seeds locked up in the AFC. It's crazy. And 1 in the NFC. So, Graz, let's start with who is actually playing. Time to check in with the Domino's pregame headquarters for the Bills and the Fins matchup. So, Dan the man, Miami with key injuries. What more can you tell us about the status of some of these players for Sunday?
Well, let's start with the quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, because there's good news there. He hurt his shoulder toward the end of last week's game, but he's been a full participant in practice all week, and the expectation is that he'll be fine to go for this huge game against Miami. You see Raheem Mostert there. He missed last week's game with knee and ankle injuries, was back out at practice today, so there's at least some hope that he'll be able to go Sunday night. Same with Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle returned to practice today and was out running routes, catching passes, so it's possible he could return from that ankle sprain in time to play Sunday night against Buffalo. It was a big step for him to be back out on the field today. And then Xavier Howard, the cornerback, the news there not as good. Head coach Mike McDaniel actually already ruled him out earlier today with that foot injury.
All right, so Eli Apple expected to start in his place. Thanks, Dan. The Dolphins offense has really struggled against quality competition. They've struggled against winning teams overall, but Miami averaging only 17 points a game against teams that came into the matchup with a winning record. Tua Tagovailoa's QBR has absolutely plummeted in those games. They're going to get another chance to reverse that trend Sunday night against the 10-6 Bills, whose defense has allowed the 4th fewest points per game in the NFL. So, Swagoo, how can the Fins change this narrative and have success?
Their whole focus and premise of this game should be for them to how can they creatively get the ball in Tyreek Hill's hands and Devon Achane. creatively, not just letting Tua drop back and stand in the middle of the pocket. I still think Tua struggles with secondary plays when he has to move out of the pocket and improvise. But when he can play in rhythm and on time, and how you loosen the defense up is to make them come up and tackle. Now, the Buffalo Bills have been really good, and they've pressured a little bit more than usual, and we saw it against the New England Patriots. So when you have potentially those opportunities man-to-man down the field with Tyreek Hill, you have to try to capitalize on them. But I want to see some jet sweeps. I want to see some creativity in the screen game. That is how you get after this Buffalo Bills defense. You're not going to play them straight up. This defensive line is playing wonderful. You got to attack these linebackers, but more importantly, get your superstars involved early and often and get the ball in their hands beyond Tua having to throw a slant or having to throw a deep ball.
Yeah, listen, everybody knows they can rip off some explosive plays. They know what Tyreek Hill can do. Mina, we know Sean McDermott's going to make some adjustments. How do you see that defense trying to slow down this explosive offense?
Well, we just saw defense do a fantastic job of it, the Baltimore Ravens, who used a game plan not too dissimilar from what San Francisco did near the end of last season, which is you focus on taking away the middle of the field, getting in those throwing windows, those landmarks that Tua hits so unbelievably quickly, taking away the in-breaking concepts, forcing him to throw outside the numbers where this offense is simply less potent. However, it should also be noted that the two defenses I mentioned, Baltimore and San Francisco, have the two best linebacker duos in the NFL, which makes doing all of that a lot easier. And these Bills' young linebackers, by the way, Marcus, they're playing really well. Bernard, Dawson, since Matt Milano went down. But this is a very difficult challenge, especially if the Dolphins don't fall behind, and you also have to account for the run action. All the stuff I mentioned, it happens usually coupled with a lot of pre-snap motion, some sort of fake handoff at times. And for a linebacker, that's a very tall order if Miami still has the option to run the ball too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, really fascinating on both sides of the ball. We're going to pick this one in just a bit, but been a long time for Miami. They haven't won the East since 2008 when Chad Pennington was the quarterback. Tony Sparano was the head coach. Remember that?
Sparano was with me in Dallas.
Yep, there you go. See, you knew that already, Swagoo. All right, win and get in. Nothing like controlling your own playoff destiny. But does Jordan Love have to win to make the Aaron Rodgers departure worth it?
What's
about
love
that?
got to do?
There you go, Swagoo's singing. And who doesn't like a little extra cash in their pockets?
That bad.
Yeah, plenty of players have some incentives this weekend beyond the playoffs. We'll tell you who